Hi everyone, my name is Satyam Raha. This video, I'm going to explain a confusing concept. Now, what is that? So, I have seen many of the students or many of the learners or developers they get confused with the fact that the the class name could be same as the file name. Okay, and that is not true actually. Okay, let me explain why I'm saying this. So you see here in Eclipse, so I have written public class final demo, right? And you see the file name is also final demo.java. So what I said doesn't go with this, right? I'm using the same name for the class which consists the main method. Okay, the class which consists the main method should be should have the same name as a file name. This is the myth. But you see here I'm using that. Then why I'm saying this? Let me demonstrate using the terminal. Okay, let's say, let me just zoom in a bit. Okay, let's create a Java file. Okay, using nano maybe. Let's say myth.java. Let's say so. Let's write a snippet. So the file name, remember, is myth.java. Let's create a class named non-myth maybe, just for fun. Okay, now you see inside this I want to have the public static void main. Okay, and inside that maybe, okay, so I should have the arguments here, so string arguments ar maybe, right? And now let's try to print out something maybe just for simplicity. Dot print ln, let's say, just for fun. Okay, cool. So this is a simple code, simple Java program where the file name is mid.java, and here the class which contains the main function or main method is named as non-myth. Now, according to the myth, should it work? Should it get compiled? Let's check it. Save it. Okay. Now let me check the file content myth.java. Yeah, so it's fine. Now let's try to compile it. Java C, we compile a code using Java C. This is the Java compiler, right? So if I compile it, what should I give? So should I provide the file name myth.java, or should I provide the class name non-myth.java? What do you think? See, when compiling a code, you should always provide the file name because compilation will be done on the file, okay, not on a particular class. Remember this, because a file can have as many classes as I want, right? So when I want to compile, so I want to compile each of the classes, not only a single class which contains the main method, right? I want to compile the entire code. So obviously I should provide the file name here, not the class name which contains the main method. Otherwise, only that method will be compiled, isn't it? Logically, what do you think? That method will be compiled. But do I want that? I can have as many classes as I want in a file. So in the myth file, I can have say hundreds of classes. So do I want only the main method class to be compiled? No, obviously. I want all the classes to be compiled, isn't it? So obviously while compiling, I will give the file name. So myth.java along with the extension, remember, along with the extension. Now if I run it, it got compiled. Now let me check the content. See, uh, myth.java is present here, and you can see non-myth.class is created just now. So I had the class non-myth in my myth.java file. So after compilation, what is the result? A class file will be the result, and that is non-myth.class. Okay, because I had only one class in my file. So that file, that class dot class is created. So this is the bytecode. Basically, if you want to know, this is the bytecode. Now this bytecode will be executed by the JVM. So how can you execute that? Using the Java, and followed by what? Do I need to provide the file name or the class name? What do you think? I cannot give here the file name because I want to run the class which has the main method, isn't it? JVM wants to execute that particular class which has the main method, because that is the starting point. Main method is the starting point. So I will have to execute the class which contains the main method, not the file. That is why you can see the compiler has created non-myth.class file, not myth.class file. Okay, otherwise you could have seen myth.class file here. It is not visible. What is the reason? The reason is the classes can be executed, not the file. Files can be compiled, classes can be executed. Which class can be executed? The class which contains the main method, because the main method is the starting point of execution. Now obviously we have the main method in the non-myth class, right? So I'll simply write non-myth. I can or cannot provide the dot class. Okay, so it should work. Okay, the output just for fun is printed. Okay, so always remember, while while compiling you need to give the file name, and when executing you need to provide that class name which actually contains the main method. That is the only requirement. It is not mandatory to give the class name and the file name as same. Okay, it is not mandatory. Now why did I then write the same file name and the class name which contains the main method same in Eclipse? The reason is, in Eclipse, the compilation and execution is done directly in one step. Only on the hit of this button, it gets compiled as well as executed. And since I have no way to break it up, break the two parts, the compilation and execution, obviously I cannot have any way to let the compiler or the Eclipse know that what is my file name or which class do I want to execute, right? I do not have any way to specify to execute the particular class here final demo directly, right? What I did in terminal, I had the manual control over there, but I do not have it here. Eclipse will simply execute this file. Now Eclipse actually supposes this or assumes that this is the class which consists of the main method. That is, the file name and the class name is same. It assumes that. Okay, what it does in the background is it will simply write javac space final demo dot java, and after compilation it will execute using java space final demo. Okay, since it is not asking from me which file or which class contains the main method, it assumes that obviously the file name is the class name which contains the main method. That is why in Eclipse we need to provide the class name and the the file name as same. Which class name? The class which contains the main method. Okay, so I hope this is clear, right? This confusion should not be there any further. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.